Bolt-action rifles are not meant to be expensive, similar to any other types of guns out there. But you and I know that the best and most impressive among the bunch in terms of features, capabilities, and build are usually behind high paywalls. Don't get disappointed, though, as this is not a way of saying that you have no options for awesome yet affordable bolt actions. What's up, everyone? This is your boy Ted from Line 45, and today I am going to drop my recommendations for the best bolt-action rifles for 2025 that will not cause you to lose a lot of hard-earned cash. Before anything else, let me do this quick plug. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, all the buttons that you can see below. Don't forget to leave a comment, too. I know it feels like a hassle, but those things help my channel a lot. Now let's get back to the good stuff. Mossberg Patriot. Let me start with the Mossberg Patriot. Now, I'm well aware that the Patriot might not have the legacy of some of the pricier bolt guns out there, but don't let that disappoint you. This rifle punches well above its weight. It has that perfect mix of affordability, accuracy, and durability. Basically, everything you want in a rifle that won't cost you an arm and a leg. At around $400 new and $370 used, you're getting a whole lot of rifles for the money. I've shot a lot of budget bolt guns over the years, and I've got to say, the Mossberg Patriot is definitely fun to shoot. The action on this thing is solid. Mossberg built it with a tubular receiver, a washer-type recoil lug, and a barrel lock nut, which means everything is locked down tight for consistency shot after shot. The bolts have that spiral fluted design, which is not just for looks, but to reduce friction and keep dirt and grit from messing with the cycling. The bolt handle is streamlined and easy to grab, so running the action feels smooth and natural, even with gloves on. One of the biggest reasons I like the Patriot is the barrel. It's hammer-forged and free-floated, with a recessed match crown for that extra bit of precision. You also have options when it comes to barrel lengths. You can choose between 20, 22, and 24-inch formats, so you can set it up just the way you want depending on your caliber and shooting style. Mossberg also gives you a couple of finish choices, including matte blue and Cerakote, so you can get a little extra protection against the elements if you're taking it into rough conditions. Now, let me talk about the Patriot trigger, because that's where budget rifles can sometimes cut corners, but not here. The Patriot comes with Mossberg's very own lightning bolt action trigger system, which is adjustable from 2 to 7 pounds. You can dial it to your liking without needing to hire a gunsmith. And it's pretty clear that Mossberg made the right call with the detachable box magazine. It's lightweight but tough, and it's got integral feed lips for reliable feeding. Plus, I appreciate that it got a drop box design, so loading and unloading is quick and easy. Standard calibers hold 5+1 rounds, while Magnum calibers offer 3+1, which is plenty for most hunting and shooting scenarios. All the stocks used in Patriot rifles come with stippled pistol grips and forends, so even if your hands are wet or cold, you're not losing your grip. And if you don't feel like messing with optics right away, some models even come with a vortex scope pre-mounted, so you can head straight to the range or the woods. Winchester XPR. I really think that the Winchester XPR is one of those rifles that doesn't get enough credit. But if you're in the market for a reliable, budget-friendly bolt gun in 2025, this one deserves a serious look. At around $550, it's packing some features you'd expect to see on rifles that cost a lot more. I've put plenty of rounds through one, and I can tell you, this thing runs smooth, hits hard, and doesn't cut corners where it matters. At the heart of the XPR is that beefy, full-diameter bolt body made from chromoly steel. It's got a short 60-degree lift, which makes for quick cycling and keeps the bolt from smacking into your scope. The 3-lug locking system locks up solid, and the nickel Teflon coating makes the action buttery smooth while keeping corrosion at bay. I also appreciate that its bolt handle is oversized and gives you a firm, confident grip, even if I'm wearing gloves. The best part is that I can field strip the bolt without any tools, which is something a lot of budget rifles don't offer at all. The receiver is also machined from solid chromoly steel and is certainly built tough. It's drilled and tapped for optics right out of the box, so mounting your favorite scope is easy. The barrel, meanwhile, is free-floated, button-rifled, and stress-relieved to keep your shots consistent, and Winchester's precision barrel nut system locks in the proper headspace for accuracy. Barrel lengths depend on the caliber. The standard calibers, for instance, get a 22-inch barrel, while Magnum rounds stretch out to 26 inches to get that extra velocity. Before I forget, every barrel is topped with a recessed target crown to keep the rifling sharp and protect accuracy. The XPR comes in a ton of calibers, from .243 Winchester and .270 Winchester to the likes .30-06 Springfield and .300 Winchester mag. If you need a reliable deer rifle, the .270 or .30-06 versions are solid picks. If you're looking for something with a little more reach, the .300 Winchester Magnum version has the power to drop just about anything North America has to offer. Now, I am really confident that you'll dig the trigger of this affordable rifle. In particular, the XPR comes with Winchester's MOA trigger system, which is factory set at about 3.5 pounds, but can be adjusted. It's crisp, with no mushy creep or over-travel, which is exactly what you want in a good hunting or target rifle. The trigger components are all hardened carbon steel, and the sear and actuator are nickel Teflon coated to keep things smooth and durable over time. Another aspect of this bolt action is its two-position safety that completely disengages the trigger from the actuator. That means no chance of an accidental discharge. There's also a bolt release button, so you can unload the chamber while keeping the safety engaged, which is a great feature you should take advantage of. And hey, the bolt shroud has a cocking indicator, so you can tell at a glance if the rifle is cocked and ready to fire. The synthetic stock on the XPR is lightweight and built to take a beating. It's got textured grip panels on the forend and pistol grip, so even if your hands are wet or you're wearing gloves, you'll still have a solid hold. Some shooters say the stock doesn't feel as premium as a high-end composite or wood stock, but for a budget rifle, it's more than tough enough. Plus, Winchester threw in their Inflex technology recoil pad, which does a great job of soaking up the kick. Remington 700 SPS. I know for a fact that the Remington Model 700 SPS has been around long enough to prove itself as one of the most reliable bolt-action rifles out there, and in 2025, it still holds its ground as a top-tier budget option. No cap. Whether you're setting up for deer season, dialing in shots at the range, or looking for a no-nonsense rifle that will never ever let you down, this one has what it takes. Remington took the legendary 700 platform and made it more accessible without cutting corners where it counts. That means you get the same rock-solid action, durable synthetic stock, and dependable accuracy that have made the Model 700 a staple among hunters and shooters for decades, and all of that at a price that won't make your wallet cry. You can buy this thing for a price between $500 to $700, and possibly lower in some retailers. Now let me talk about what makes this thing tick. The heart of the 700 SPS is its legendary action, which I highly consider one of the strongest and smoothest bolt actions ever made. The receiver is machined from solid steel bar stock, making it rock-solid and durable. It has that classic cylindrical design that provides a consistent bedding surface in the stock, which means more predictable accuracy. And then there's Remington's quote-unquote 3 rings of steel, which consist of the recessed bolt face, barrel, and receiver, all working together to surround the cartridge case head. That's a level of strength you don't usually see in a budget rifle. The barrel on this thing is no weak piece either. It's made from carbon steel and has a matte black finish to cut glare, and hammer forged for consistency. Barrel lengths vary depending on the caliber, but you can pick from a handy 20-inch barrel on compact models up to a 26-inch barrel on Magnum calibers. So, if you're running something like the .243 Winchester, you're looking at a 20-inch barrel with an overall rifle length of 39 inches, which is super manageable. On the other end, the 7mm Remington Magnum version has a 26-inch barrel and stretches out to 46.5 inches. Either way, you're getting a well-balanced rifle that's easy to handle and still capable of excellent accuracy. The synthetic stock on the SPS is built to take a beating. It's got gray over-molded grip panels on the forend and pistol grip, giving you a solid hold even in nasty weather. It's lightweight but rugged, so you can drag it through the brush without worrying about dings or cracks. Plus, it has a supercell recoil pad, which actually does a great job of soaking up the kick, especially if you're shooting something with a bit more punch like .306 or 7mm mag. And by the way, the Model 700 SPS comes with the X-Mark Pro trigger, which is factory set at around 3.5 pounds, but can be adjusted down to about 2.5 pounds. I love how crisp and clean this trigger is. It doesn't have any of that mushy creep you get in lower-end triggers either. Plus, you can adjust it yourself without having to take it to a gunsmith, which is always a nice feature to have. For feeding, the rifle uses an internal magazine with a hinged floor plate. Some guys prefer detachable mags, but the floor plate setup keeps things secure and simple. I mean, you don't have to worry about losing a mag in the woods. Capacity varies by caliber, but most hold 4 to 5 rounds, which is plenty for most hunting and target shooting scenarios. Out of the box, the 700 SPS is ready for optics. The receiver is drilled and tapped for scope mounts, so you can throw on your favorite glass and get to work. With a good scope and the right ammo, this rifle is more than capable of sub-MOA accuracy at 100 yards, and if you go with the heavy-barreled versions, stretching out past 600 yards isn't a daydream. Savage 110 Hunter. The Savage 110 Hunter is built for shooters who demand a rifle that fits them perfectly right out of the box. You see, unlike some budget bolt guns that force you to adapt to whatever stock dimensions the manufacturer decided on, this one gives you room for control. In particular, I am talking about its AccuFit system, which lets you tweak the comb height and length of pull to get the ideal fit, which means better eye alignment with your scope and improved accuracy. If you've ever had to deal with a rifle that just didn't sit right on your shoulder, you'll appreciate the difference immediately. Then there's AccuStock, which is phenomenal in terms of stability. It has a rigid chassis inside the synthetic stock that locks the action in place along its entire length, cutting down on movement that could throw off your shots. The gray synthetic stock is lightweight but tough, and it has overmolded grip panels on the forend and pistol grip for better control, even in wet or cold conditions. The barrel is another strong point. It's actually built from carbon steel, finished in matte black, and button-rifled for precision. Savage nailed the balance here with a Sporter contour barrel, which is light enough to carry through the woods but still capable of great accuracy. Depending on the caliber you choose, the rifle's length and weight vary a bit. But for example, the 243 Winchester model comes in at 43.25 inches long and weighs around 7.5 pounds, which is easily manageable for a hunting rifle. The AccuTrigger of the Savage 110. Hunter is one of the best factory triggers in the game. It's user-adjustable from 2.5 to 6 pounds, so you can fine-tune it to your preference. It's crisp, clean, and has a built-in safety mechanism that won't let the rifle fire unless the trigger is fully depressed, which gives an extra layer of peace of mind. The rifle feeds from a detachable box magazine, making reloads simple and smooth. The magazine release is ambidextrous, which is a nice touch for left-handed shooters. And if you're planning to throw some glass on top, the receiver is already drilled and tapped for scope mounts, so you can set it up exactly how you like. In terms of performance, I can attest that the Savage 110 Hunter is a shooter. Between the AccuFit and AccuStock systems, the button-rifled barrel, and the smooth, adjustable AccuTrigger, this rifle is really capable of tight groups and consistent accuracy. I also have to emphasize that it's very comfortable to shoot, and the recoil management is solid, thanks to the smart ergonomics and good stock design. And with an MSRP of $879, you're getting a rifle that punches above its weight class, offering some of the same perks you'd find in pricier models. Of course, expect that its street prices are lower, with some being sold as low as $500. Ruger American Gen 1. If there's one rifle that proves you don't have to spend a fortune to get a damn good shooter, it's the Ruger American, specifically its Generation 1 version. Ruger built this thing to be a no-nonsense workhorse. It's lightweight, accurate, and rugged enough to take a beating in the field. It has all the essentials you need in a bolt gun without any unnecessary fluff, and that is what makes it such a standout in the budget rifle market. When it first came out, it had an MSRP of $449, but now it's sitting around $600, which is still a steal considering what you're getting. If you know where to look, you can probably snag one for even less. The heart of this rifle is its rock-solid receiver, built from 4140 chrome moly bar stock. Ruger kept things tight with a small loading and ejection port, which added rigidity and helped with accuracy. The barrel has a cold, hammer-forged, free-floated design with a black oxide finish. That hammer forging process gives you some damn good rifling, and that means better accuracy and longer barrel life. All this is sitting in a lightweight polymer composite stock, keeping the rifle down to about 6.25 pounds, which is great if you're carrying it around in the field all day. One of the biggest reasons this rifle punches above its weight is Ruger's power bedding system. Basically, they insert molded two stainless steel V-shaped action blocks right into the stock, which locks the receiver in place and free floats the barrel. That setup means consistent accuracy, and it helps tighten up your groups without needing to mess with aftermarket bedding jobs. Now, the bolt assembly is another place where I think Ruger nailed it. It's a one-piece, three-lug bolt with a slick 70-degree throw, so you get plenty of clearance for a scope. The bolt cycles smoothly, and those dual cocking cams help you run it fast and easy, even when you're working the action hard. Of course, the trigger of the American is also worth commending. The Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger is a sweet little system that lets you tweak the pull weight from 3 to 5 pounds. Out of the box, it's pretty crisp, with a built-in safety blade that has to be fully depressed before the trigger will break. It's a nice touch that adds an extra layer of safety without feeling obtrusive. Speaking of safety, the two-position tang safety is right where you want it. It's easy to reach and intuitive. What's really nice about it is that you can cycle the bolt and unload the rifle while the safety is engaged. That's a small detail that makes handling the gun a lot safer and more convenient. This rifle feeds from a detachable rotary magazine, which sits flush with the bottom of the stock. It's made of the same tough polymer as the stock and holds 4 rounds in standard calibers. I love that its rotary design feeds smoothly and locks in solid with a small spring-loaded latch, so you don't have to worry about it rattling loose. For optics, Ruger ditched their proprietary ring system and went with a standard drilled and tapped receiver, which comes with Weaver number 46 bases. For me, that is a big win in my book, because it means you've got a ton of options for mounting a scope without being locked into Ruger-specific mounts.